Hi Capricorn, welcome to your August 2025 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. So these are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign, Cappy is for you. Remember to watch all three so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. With that said, I'm going to disappear, but if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose, and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. So, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So I'm going to pop these to the side. Those will be for clarification on your questions. And give these a shuffle. And so for your key to the month this month, you have the death card. All right, endings, completions, culminations, and closing down of cycles and patterns that no longer have any time, any space, or really, to be fair, any part of your life. Ultimately, remember when the death card shows up, usually this talks about transformation, right? We're talking about moving from one way or one state of being, moving into another. And ultimately what this means is that in all of these different areas of life that we're about to explore, this month there are going to be endings, there's going to be completions, there's you walking away from the way that something used to be and stepping into how it's going to be now. The death card really shows us where it usually shows up when something in our lives is obsolete and it's ready for us to let go of it. And the secret of the death card is, if you follow this message to say it's time to let this thing go, or to, you know, to let it be past, then you avoid the tower, right? Whereas if you hold on to this thing that you know is long since done, then you tend to run into tower-like energy. Okay, so for your actions and options, you've got the Five of Cups. This card actually can represent mourning in the traditional sense. What I have observed through my tarot practice over the years is that usually the Five of Cups and the Death card does speak about an actual or a literal death, but it's usually one that's already happened. So the fact that you have the Five of Cups in your actions and options as what you're doing, there is a feeling here that you are mourning or grieving somebody that has already passed, or a situation that has come to a close. So I'll give you an example. It's kind of like, let's say you know, like a job, right? You have a really good job, you love what you're doing, it's absolutely amazing, and then everything changes and you get to that point where you think, wow, it's no longer what I thought it was going to be or what I would like it to be, and I kind of feel like, you know, it's the beginning of the end. This could be that there's someone in your life that has passed over that you are really missing. And, you know, I really hope that this isn't the case. But yeah, it does feel like it's going to be quite prominent and potentially quite heavy on your heart. When it comes to the options that are available to you, the Five of Cups is giving you the chance to really grieve something, to acknowledge that something has come to its natural end, something has come to its natural close, and it's now time for you to move on. This is, right, it's speaking about the opportunity for you to accept that something as you know it is no longer going to be the way that it is. And truth be told, you know, the season of death is actually autumn, where everything dies, right? And what happens after? We have the winter, the resting period, and then what happens after winter? We have spring, the new life. It's all a cycle. No part of it is meant to be skipped or escaped, okay? Now, when it comes to, wow, okay. So you've got the death card twice now, and you've got the death card in the communications and conversations, which means this is very likely to hit in the work or the career sphere, right? There's no getting around that. It's very, very clear. There's a few ways that this could show up, right? One of them, touch wood, I hope I'm wrong, I wouldn't be, like, it's not outside of the possibility that a lot of you lose a colleague, right? A colleague, somebody that you work with, could, you know, you get the word, you get the message, and it's like, oh my gosh, like this person has passed away. And it could be really, you know, like something that really shocks you in some regard. It's also possible that with your and as well, another way that this could show up is the quality of conversation. This month, you might find that a lot of the conversations that you're having are based on endings, completions, culminations. This is going to be a toilet flush of a month, right? And what I mean by this is anything that is obsolete, anything that needs to go, any connection that isn't right, it's like all of it happens this month, and the universe clears away all of the debris. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, a lot of you may decide that you just don't want to finish the course. A lot of you maybe you signed up, you got accepted, you got your loan, you got your grant, you know, all the rest of it. And then you're like, actually, you know what? No, I don't want to do any of this. I'm really not interested in doing any of this. It doesn't speak to me. It doesn't work for me, like whatever the case might be. When it comes to those of you that are, what's the word? When it comes to those of you that are employed by somebody else, I wouldn't be surprised if the job that you do is coming to an end. Now, that doesn't have to mean that you're getting fired. It just means that the job that you do, the work that you do, potentially even the location that you do the job at is going to be changing in some way, shape or form. So there's new opportunities on the horizon for you, I think, that are going to open up brand new doors. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, it is possible, but I do think that those of you that are employed will lose a colleague. For those of you that are business owners, it's quite possible that you lose a client. I've had that happen, you know, like there's somebody that I used to read for that passed away, and it was really a shock to me, you know, like, you know, I know everyone's thinking you didn't predict that. It's not even so much about the predictive side of it. It's more just a case of, because you know them, right? Obviously you're not close, you're not family, but equally they share things with you that are very deep, that are very intimate. So you feel that quite keenly, you know, when it's a client that is a really good client, you feel it, you know. It's even though all of this stuff is a part of the experience of life, you always feel death, I think. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working for any reason, look, if we're at a certain age, we accept that these are the years you're going to be coming into where these things start to unfold, right? It just makes sense. What I would say to you is use this month for preparation. Shit. Okay, so look, there's no getting around this. You've got the Tower card in the love and relations. One way that this potentially shows up, if you are partnered, married, or in a long-term commitment, I think this is going to be an in-law. All right, I touch wood, I really hope I'm wrong, but there's no getting around this. Death in the Tower is usually death that comes very suddenly. I don't feel like it is your partner. I actually feel like it may be a family member of theirs. Again, I really hope I'm wrong on this front. It's possible that this could be maybe your partner loses a job. That's also possible as well. Another way that this combination could also show up is for those of you that are single, you could hear of an ex, somebody that you dated, somebody that you were, you know, partnered to, etc., could pass away, and you hear about it and you're like, wow, you know, like that really hit me, even though we're not an item or whatever. And I always think of it that way, like even if there's somebody that you dated and you don't get on and you think, you know what, I can't fucking stand you, right? Like it's still, you know, if you hear of somebody passing away, you're like, oh wow, shit, you know, like it's real. Like it always makes it that much more real in some way. But yeah, look, there's no getting around these cards. I'm really sorry I don't have a brighter or a lighter message to give you. What I can also say is, let's say it's not a passing and this speaks to your relationship, it's quite possible that there's something coming up this month that could really ruffle some feathers. Now, this isn't going to be for all of you. But what I will say is, if you are in a relationship where you know things have been rocky for a long while, It may be that your relationship is the thing that's coming to an end or is going through its death. Now, does that mean it can't transform? No, definitely not. But what I would say is, if that is the case, something will need to change. And when I say it need to change, this is not like, oh well, we've agreed that we're just not going to argue anymore. That's not a change. That's lip service, right? That's you trying to circumvent the energy. I'm talking about, okay, this thing has always been a problem for us. We're going to couples therapy to get it sorted. This could, do you know what I mean? Like, you're making a very real, very drastic step to change the relationship. Because the thing is, if you try to keep everything the same, you're going to meet this. Do you remember what I said to you earlier with the death card? When you do the death card right, you avoid this. And this is showing up in your relationship sector. So there's something there that will need to be looked at. For your money and materials, you've got the Three of Swords. Shit. Ooh, okay, ciao. Like, I mean, tarot. I get it, bud. You've got something to say, but what, you couldn't out here. Okay. This aside for a second, I do have a webinar that will be going out in August. I would love for you to be there. There's a link in the description box below. It is tarot for spell work. It is tarot for spiritual work and magic. It's going to show you how to turn your tarot deck into a wand so that you can start using it for manifestation, for spiritual work, and all manner of other wonderful things. So stay tuned for that. There's a link in the description box below. And if you're not on my mailing list, you are not getting my weekly emails. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I send out emails, and there's discounts in there. There's other things that I do not talk about on any of my other platforms. So if you would like to join that, there is a link in the description box below. Make sure you get it. So then we've got this Three of Swords, right, in your money and materials. So this could be you divesting financial interests with somebody else. It could also be a financial surprise of some sort, right? So it's like something comes up and all of a sudden you're like, okay, now that I know this, now that I've seen this, there's no way for me to get around this, right? I can't go in a different direction suddenly. It also means that there's going to be some kind of surprise expense. Now, if you're partnered, married, or in a long-term commitment, this could be about something that your partner needs to spend money on almost instantly, and you're kind of on the fence about it. Another way that this could also show up is it could literally be like something that you thought you were going to pay into literally just doesn't go ahead in the way that you would like. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Three of Swords is potentially something being removed from the body. So over the course of this month, if you maybe like you're having surgery, maybe you're having a biopsy, maybe you're having some kind of, it looks to be minor, to be honest. I'm not seeing anything that I would consider like a major surgery. So, it could be just something that needs to kind of be looked at in some regard. Maybe even maybe you're having a boil lanced or something along those lines. Now, when it comes to your home and environment, this Three of Swords, something or someone is potentially leaving the home or the family for good. This could literally be, I've seen this card show up as that for a child that was leaving to go to university. Granted, the other cards were different, and I have to say, the Three of Swords coupled with the Tower card is one of the few combinations that represents true or literal physical death. I'm really sorry to say this, Capricorn, but it does look like somebody will be saying their final goodbyes this month, and I really hope I am wrong on that front. There's no getting around this read though. I can sit here and blow smoke and I can tell you that it's all going to be fine and everything's going to be great, or I can give you the real and tell you to make your preparations, to have the conversations that you need to have, and treat every moment with reverence and respect for the fact that it could potentially be the last, right? Now, if I had to typify this, I would say that this person is probably older, and as I say, I personally don't feel like it's the partner. I actually feel like it's like if you're partnered, married, or in a long-term commitment, it'll be an in-law. Another way that this could show up for you is, you know, if you're single and you're thinking, holy shit, Raf, I'm single, so what does that mean for me? Well, it will be an extended family member. Again, I really hope I'm wrong on this front, and I'll relish being wrong. You know, I don't enjoy these predictions. I don't make them for sensationalist reasons, or, you know, for clicks and views and all the rest of it. That's just not me. And you being my Capricorn audience, you guys know me by now. You love me for who I am and for giving it to you as I give it to you, and trying to deliver it with heart and tenderness and care, but also still giving you, you know, keeping it a buck, right? And just giving you the true and the real. With that said, my heart is with you. I really hope that you guys are okay. If it's not too private, personal, or painful, then please share with me in the comments. I send you so much love, and I will speak to you soon.